Hi, this is Mona McClellan, and I know you just typed in how to start a hairdressing business. And I've made some notes, so I'm going to refer to them because I want to make this a very short video and I don't want to miss anything. That's a really good question you asked, and I wish I had asked myself that question and really done a little bit more research than I had done before I opened my hair salon. So remember that you want to have a really great business plan. What I mean by that is it can be simple, but it has to be thorough. You want to know, how much space you need, how many staff you're going to need, what kind of prices that you're going to be charging, so you can figure out how much income will come in from those prices and how much goes out in salon expenses and staff and merchandise that you're going to resell, all of those things. So you need that business plan in place. So do some market research in your area and find out what other people are charging, and if you don't have any idea about that, if you haven't already been working in the hair industry. And you want to make sure that you have a great location, not off in the boonies somewhere, unless you're having one in your home. That's a different story altogether, and that's, maybe we could do another video about that. You want to have some kind of business education. You don't have to go to school to get a business degree, but even maybe night school or something where you could have some understanding of business, rather than just being a hairdresser opening a hair salon, because it's a whole different ballgame. You have to kind of separate yourself from being the hairstylist and the business owner, and you have different skills for both. Start small, grow incrementally, and review your plan every year. Don't try to grow too big too fast. You could just blow everything out of the water. Even if you have a really great year, stick to your plan. Stylists, you want to make sure you hire stylists with some clientele. Of course, you probably get an assistant or an apprentice that you pay minimum wage to, and you have to factor that all into your plan as well. Your business should run without you, so take yourself out of the equation. And what I mean by that is you're going to get paid from the work that you do as well. But say you want to just run the business, so there should be an income coming in from you. Or if you get sick, the business should run without depending on your income from your client base. And if you can start this salon with no debt or very low debt that you have to service, that would be ideal. A little bit of debt, of course, is going to come off against your taxes every year, so it can be beneficial, but check with an accountant or even with a lawyer. You have to decide if you're going to incorporate or have a sole proprietorship or a partnership. If you incorporate, if you are a partner, or even if you're sole owner, you have some protection there. So you want to find out about having an incorporation as opposed to taking all the liability and responsibility on yourself individually. Those are the things you need to do. What I'm going to suggest that you don't do is buy an existing big salon, which is what I did. You're going to pay way too much. Unless you have, you can do it without a loan, and you're walking into a really sweet deal. So make sure you find out, if you do buy a salon, the depreciated value of the leaseholds. And remember that goodwill isn't really worth anything. So if a salon is being sold and it's charging a certain amount for goodwill, which is, the clientele that's coming in to the stylist, then be careful about that. Because what happens is a lot of hairstylists are fickle. You may buy the hair salon and off they'll go somewhere else. There's not always a lot of loyalty, although you want to think there is. Even if you're a really good boss, one day they just might get an offer, a better offer somewhere else, or decide to move or have children, and then that income's gone. Rarely do clients stay with you unless the stylist retires. And what happened to me was I did buy a big hair salon. I paid way too much for it, and we had a stellar year the first year, and then a lot of our staff left, and it was a struggle for years and years after that. And I did end up selling the salon for a loss. I put a lot of sweat and tears into it, and if you're thinking about this as something that you want to do, a business that you want to run, well, I actually want to caution you to think about alternatives. I eventually had to look at alternatives after I pretty much lost all my savings, even after I sold it, all those years of work I put into it. And I decided I needed to find a way that I could serve others in a different way. My health was suffering, the stress and the tension from chronic pain in my shoulders and the chemical sensitivities. I just decided to find out how I could serve online. And I got with a group of friends, and we work on the internet, and we're doing really well, and what we do is really cool. If you have a moment and you want to take a peek at what we do, certainly just feel free to go to my link, workwithmona.com, and take a peek. And there you'll find two things. The first thing you'll find is some testimonials of people that we've helped. And you'll also find out about what it is that we do and how we do it and all that sort of stuff. And I hope this information will be helpful for you to decide if starting your own hair salon as a hairdresser is right for you or not.